What's
What up, my friend?
Nothing much.
How are you?
I'm all right. Enjoying this
wait to talk to
Invincible
you.
hype, bruh. I know, right? Gee,
I cannot wait to talk about it, bro.
They dropped the season finale like hours early because technically it come out Thursday, but like it's like Friday kind of in the morning. But they dropped that shit midday Thursday. I was like, what?
Like, you said you were watching it, and I'm like, wait, it's today? Like today's Thursday. It's today? We were supposed to have a show that day on Thursday, and we said, nah, fuck that. We got to watch the finale. That's crazy.
And I didn't even, because I seen it a little bit earlier before I sent that snap in. I seen it a little bit early on Twitter, like people talking about it. I was like, what? Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, the finale's coming out tonight. Yeah, like and retweet, whatever. And then I seen like stills of it. I was like, what? What? Hold on. Let me check my app. I was like, it's there. I had to send another snap. Yo, it's there, y'all.
Did they say why?
I think because they just
did they say why? Or
season because the Invincible Amazon Prime account tweeted out like finale and season 2 and 3 renewed for it. So like I think that was why it was like, oh bad, we renewed for season 2 and 3. Full send. Let's just fuck the internet up real quick. I don't know if that's the real answer. That's just me guessing.
And they had me fucked up. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I guess that is the best guess. There really isn't any other reason since they always drop on Fridays or early Friday morning or whatever. But either way, like I was hella surprised it dropped. I wouldn't have noticed if you didn't tell me. I was at work all day, so I wouldn't have noticed if you didn't tell me. So thank you. Thank you for checking the Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter.
I did want to talk about that third to last episode. Yeah, that third to last episode. We'll talk about that briefly, and then we'll get into the final 2 episodes because I feel like the final 2 episodes were like the meat and potatoes, you know. So that third to last episode was the episode where Mark, Invincible, he's trying to win back Amber, basically. Like, hey, give me another shot. Let's do this. Let's go do something. So they go with Will, Mark's best friend, to go visit a college. And they're going to go visit Will's like love interest, who is, I forgot his name. Anyway, but they go visit his love interest, and Amber and Mark, they're like, okay, cool, let's tag along. We're going to go with Will was kind of reluctant for them going because he's like, I'm trying to go and get some dick, and you're going to cramp my style. But no, they did it anyway. So I thought it was pretty dope. I really liked the guy. I forgot his name. The love interest. Do you remember his name at all?
I do not.
No? Okay, cool.
Nope.
Anyway, long story short, they get there. The guy's super dope, and they meet up with they meet in class with some like super genius who was voiced by Ezra Miller, which I thought was pretty funny. And basically this super genius was like, he thought all those students were peasants. Like his intelligence was so far like superior than everyone. He just looked at everyone like they were a project, basically. He kind of had that like, how do I put this? He reminds me of another character, but I can't put my my tongue on it. But he believed that the human race was imperfect and he could perfect them. So what he did was that he turned these people who he thought, or he would just capture random people, and he would turn them into like a cyborg, like a mindless cyborg, and just like replace body parts and like put like shit in their brains, and so he could control them, and they became like superhuman, like RoboCops. That's insane.
Yeah. And this is coming. This episode's coming off the episode where Mark just got his fucking chest beat in by fucking Battle Beast. So his mindset is, I don't know if this cape shit is for me. He's like, I just got my ass handed to me. Amber's fucking pissed at me. I'm trying to win her back. Let me go. Let's go on this trip. Let's get away. Let's remedy this relationship and go have fun with my best friend while he's beating up with his boyfriend. I first off, I really like the relationship between Will and Mark. I feel like, and I also like how, I don't want to say they gloss over it. They kind of, they normalize
a straight male and a gay man being best friends.
That, and they kind of normalize like how casual it is for someone to be gay. Like they don't make a big deal out of it, and they don't like just brush over. They're like, this is a normal thing. This is the real world. This is what it is. Right. Oh yeah, I'm going to go visit my boyfriend at the campus. You know, you guys want to come along? I guess.
And there was no second thoughts.
Yes, I love that. I love that.
Exactly. I also liked it a lot too.
Mm-hmm. I also like how
representation matters.
Yeah, I also love how they opened it with this drunk douchebag hit this rich fucking frat guy. It's like, yo, my fucking dad, he bought that building for the college. You know, I'm rich. I'm the heir to the fucking this multi-billion-dollar company. You wanna come have sex with me? Get on the ground floor, and then he gets captured. You're like, oh, who's this mystery guy capturing dicks and just doing whatever? Oh, he got turned into a half. His arm's gone. We don't care because the guy's a fucking dick. And then they fucking flip that because later on in the episode, with Will's boyfriend, who's actually a good fucking guy, it also gets captured. Now you're like, fuck, all right. I actually care because Will's a good fucking dude. I don't want this to happen to him, but fuck that guy from the beginning. And like, even when they originally get to the college, you see these, like they walk past this board with like missing people on it. And like the guy from the beginning is one of the missing people.
Multiple.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So I thought that was also pretty cool. Like the little contrast that they had in there at the beginning, because you obviously don't care about that first guy. You're just like, 100%. Well, this kid's just like a trust fund douchebag, and it's like he got what was coming to him. So, 100%. Yeah, but that's also the episode that Mark realizes that Will realizes who Mark really is. So the robot comes out, and he comes out on campus and starts like wrecking havoc. And Will is in danger, and Mark leaves and comes back as Invincible to like stop the robot dude. And Will's right there. He's like looking up at Mark from the ground. He's like, "Ain't you my boy? Like,
ain't you my boy?
Like what?
Yes.
Like, and you ain't tell me what?" He was mad as hell at him that he didn't tell him in the middle of the fight. Like, that's crazy. Like, you just saved my life, yeah, but I'm still mad that you didn't tell me who you were.
I really thought it was, for me, it was like subtle. It was funny to me how when Mark appeared and like he was holding back the robot, and Will was like, "Mark," and he was like, "Move, bro. This nigga is strong. Can you get out of the way, please? Can you please go to safety? This is a lot for me to do right now."
In Will's defense, I might have done the same thing.
Yeah, just because the shock of it all. I 100% understand. 100%.
Right, I'm like, what?
Like, what the fuck?
I'm like, wait, hold on. Yeah, so this is why you've been ignoring me for the last couple months, bro? This is why we haven't hung out? Oh, bitch ass. Like, thank you, but I'm still mad.
Yeah. So, yeah, a battle ensues in, like, the middle of campus. Mark really needs to get in the gym. This robot was giving him a run for his money. But to caveat that, this, like I said previously, this is Mark post ass whooping from Battle Beast. So I would assume he's not at 100%. He didn't see, because he just got out of the hospital not that long ago. So I'm just assuming I'm just assuming he's not 100%. So yeah.
I mean, he also need to get in the gym and get some training on, because
yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Those robots were kicking his ass. I mean, in his defense, those robots were like mind controlled, and I'm sure like that super genius character was like able to use all of their strength. You know how like you can only use like 10% of your brain, like that's like the rumor theory, whatever. I'm sure like he cranked that bitch up to 100. It was just like use all the strength you got, So like I give him a little bit of leeway, but still he was getting his ass beat by those robots. And the robot, did he see his reflection in the water? Is that what happened?
Mark ended up ripping off like the faceplate, and he was like it hurt him, and then he walked towards like the water, and he saw his reflection in the water. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill myself now," and like jumped on like this statue thing that had like a sharp point. Ended it up.
He saw himself as a monster, because that's basically what he was. Not that he wasn't kind of a monster beforehand, because he was a douchebag, but he saw himself as an actual monster and was like, "This ain't no way to live." And he literally just jumped up and just like, and just
impaled himself
onto that pillar. Yeah, that was wild. I wasn't expecting that, and Mark kind of got away with that one because he was getting his ass.
Yeah. It was gonna be a long day for Mark, but he got him out of there.
Yeah, that's true. He's lucky that he got a forfeit. Buddy,
he got a forfeit, but he gave up.
He rage quit is what happened.
Back.
Yeah, and so when that happened, he's dead, so the fight's over. So Invincible has to go back to being Mark. So he, runs away, puts his suit off, and puts his regular clothes on, and then starts running back to Will and Amber. I was like, "Hey, are you guys okay?" And Amber's like, "Yo, where the fuck were you at, bro?" It's like, you just like there's a robot dude, a cyborg killing everybody, and you ran away from us. So in her defense, at this point in her defense, I'm saying she has every right. Because, I mean, that's not the first time, right, that he's like run away in danger.
I don't think not around her. Like he's blown her off a few times, but this is the first time like
in danger.
This particular situation has occurred. Yeah.
Okay, so even if it's the first time, that's still like I would feel disrespected as fuck. Yeah. Like you're supposed to be my man, and you're out here just running away.
Yeah, that's cat. That's cat.
The first sight of danger, you out? You just don't even care about me?
Yeah, I've been saying since the beginning, bro. Mark, you ain't normal, bro. Stop. What are you doing with this normal life? You need a superhero girl. This normal shit ain't gonna work, bro. I mean, you can run issues like this. What are we doing? Huh?
Yeah,
but like, what made it worse? You said, she is right. Like I get it, but like, Mark, this is come on.
You know what? It's the fact that what made it worse is that so obviously she's mad. You know what? I guess we'll get into this in the next episode because there's still a lot of this episode left. So let's just leave it at that. At that, Amber's pissed off at him. Okay.
Yeah.
So Amber's pissed off. They get back to Will's boys' room, and Amber's like, nah, fuck this. Like, I am not sleeping with this guy. I'm going into this room and I'm staying away from all of you guys. She even hopped into the shower because she said she felt gross after what Mark did to her. I was like, that's bogus. So that happened. And then what happens after that? She ends up going to a party, right? She meets someone on her way to the shower and they invite her to a party.
Yeah.
Right. So she gets to the party. And this other dude, it seems like he's kind of hitting on her. And Mark gets to the party to like chase after her. And she's talking to some dude. And, you know, seeing that from your perspective or from his perspective, it's kind of like, damn, like, am I really going to be the one to be a superhero, or can I have a regular life, or what's going to happen here? Because, you know, like he can't have both.
Yeah.
He wants his cake and he wants to eat it too, and it's just not going to work that way.
Yeah. And while this is happening, Will's boyfriend goes out to get something like milk or something, some type of snack, beer, from the store. And previously in the episode, the like bad genius guy who's played by Ezra Miller, him and Will's boyfriend got into a little tiff in the classroom because Ezra Miller character was being a dickhead in class, and he was like, bruh, stop being a dick. We're here to learn. All right, you're smart. Cool, we get it. Move around. But he didn't take too kindly to that. So jump forward again. Will's boyfriend is going to get beer at a convenience store or whatever, and he gets snatched up. I think he's on the phone with Will while it happens too.
Yeah.
Like the line just goes dead or whatever.
Yeah.
And while that's happening, Will ends up calling Invincible because he knows Mark, because he knows he's invincible now. And Mark's like, yeah, he's probably all right, bro. It's cool. Call probably dropped. I gotta go fix things with Amber. That was, for me, bro, you'll see more, bro. That relationship is dead. This man needs help. Your boy called you like on some real shit. He wasn't even like Clint. He's like, yo, but for real though, I think my guy's in danger. Can you like go check? And he was just like, nah. He was like, nah. Mark, what is that? What is that, bro? Honestly, I don't know if I could have gone back to being friends with him. I might have been hella mad for a while. It might have taken me a little bit to get over that.
Well, let's explain a little bit why though, because not only did he like diss his friend and say like, oh, his, you know, your boy's probably fine, but he wasn't fine. Like he wasn't,
not at all.
Like he'll never be fine again.
In the slightest.
Right. So, and Will was saying like this is the first time that he's had someone who like he really likes that likes him back. So this was like his first shot at like being in like a legit relationship. So I would definitely hold that against Mark. Like I would like it's like, yeah, it's your best friend, but like I asked you for help and you legitimately said no, I got bigger fish to fry. Mm-hmm. And like it was Amber who's been a bitch to him for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, gee. Like, yeah.
So it would have been tough, but again, like he is your best friend, so like you forgive your best friends for most things. So is that the line?
I don't know about this one.
Is that the line?
I don't know. This
is that where we draw?
I would have been hella tight. Like, look at my man's now, because you didn't want to help me when I asked for help. Look at him.
Because he literally like that super genius dude captured him and turned him into one of those cyborg robots. And like I don't know exactly like the logistics of what he was doing to each person, but like they had metal arms, like they had implants in their brain, they had like cyborg eyes. Like he can't be a regular human after this, and that affects Will directly, you know. So yeah, that would be a tough thing to go. I don't know if I think I eventually would forgive my friend, but if you don't or couldn't, I don't hold that against
honestly,
you.
Honestly, after episode, which episode is this? What are we talking about? After the second to last episode, we're like, all right, you got a lot of shit going on, bro. I can't. Yeah. There's a lot. That's crazy over there. You need someone to talk to, but we'll get there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I'll give him that. It's nice to know that he has people he can talk to about his like superhero problems. Because like, yeah, Adam Eve had her own like superhero problems that she was dealing with too. So like they weren't exactly like at the same place at the same time to talk about those things, you know, because Adam Eve was out doing her, her good deeds and shit, trying to make herself feel good about helping others.
She out there freelancing.
She freelances. She on a mission trip, bro.
Yeah. She on a mission trip, 100%. That's good. That was good.
Facts.
Yeah.
So
at the end of this episode that I usually take issue with, like, so while they're in Will's boyfriend's apartment, this is like in the middle of the episode. So sorry, we're jumping around everywhere. But so Will says they're talking about him. They're talking about Mark being Omni-Man. And he's like, "Holy shit, bro, you're Omni-Man. Take me flying right now. I'm telling everyone you're fucking Invincible. Or not Omni-Man. You're fucking invincible." And he's like, "No." And then eventually he does it. Usually stuff like that for me, I'm just like, because like it's like the whole Genki thing. Like Genki's always trying to fucking tell people, "Yo, I know Spider-Man's." Like, shut up. But like, I think it's because it was only just them in the room, and like it was kind of just like a bullshit line, and like he didn't implicate Mark in any way to anyone else. I think that's why I was fine with it, because it was just them two like shooting the shit, and like Mark just took him flying real quick and brought him right back in.
Literally in like 0.5 seconds, it was like fine, and it came back. So I thought that was good, not character development, but like it was good to see, like, it was good to see them like because
the relationship essentially.
Yeah, the relationship. Yeah, exactly. Because that's if you could fly, bro, I would definitely have you taking me flying. Like, take me out real quick. Even if it's for 5 minutes, bro. If we try to get like food real quick, we fly in there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I would definitely feel the same way. So it was nice to see that dynamic of relationship, because I think that was relatable, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So fast forward to the episode a little bit. He gets captured.
Sewer. Yeah.
What's up? Yeah. The sewer. He gets captured, and then I think Will like goes to like the place that his boy was supposed to pick up the beer, and he found like the phone on the floor, and then he found like a shoe or something like that, and then he saw like the sewer open or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
he went down there.
Yeah, he goes down there. That's when he calls Mark again. It was like, "Yo, shit's not right. I need help." You know, is that when Mark immediately goes with him?
Yeah. Well, did he call him, or was it like a FaceTime? I don't remember. Because I think they were looking at the phone, and like the phone like went static because he was looking at Mark, you know, like Mark was looking at Will, and like he seen Will get snatched up, and the phone like static out, and
I thought that's what happened with Will and his boy when his boy got snatched.
Oh, okay. I might have mixed them up then. That sounds right. So yeah, he's on the phone with Mark, and then like it cuts out, and Mark's like, "Ah, shit. All right. So I guess this was a real threat. Let me go investigate." He goes.
Wait, hold on. And when he gets that call, as he's getting that call, or he figures out that he needs to go, that's when he's walking up to Amber and like about to go like apologize or say what it has to be said, and he makes the conscious decision to leave her in not potential danger, but like that there's a dude trying to hit on her, so it's dangerous to their relationship, you know. And he consciously decides to leave that situation alone, leave his home life alone to go deal with his superhero life. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of a like it just showed you where his priorities are. And I'm like, okay, cool. Finally you're getting it. Like, you're a superhero. Like, it's a full-time gig. you know. So I just wanted to mention that real quick. So continue.
Yeah. Does he go? He goes back to where the square, like the college square, the campus square, right?
Yeah, and he goes to where that original robot jumped out of, and he goes to that hole. Yeah.
And he goes in the ground. It leads to like a sewer area, and he's just kind of wandering around until he sees this figure, like this mechanical figure in the distance. And then he like goes towards it, and it's like a gap in between the sewer where like there's a reservoir of water, and then the sewer continues on the other side. Mm-hmm. And when he's flying over it, something jumps out at him and fucking snatches him from the ground. And he's just battling with these cyborgs now. So now it's Mark versus like 3 or 4 cyborgs, and then they end up.
My man was in trouble.
The fight ends up busting through a wall down in the sewer, and we fall into Ezra Miller's character's lab, where he makes all these cyborgs from these people he's abducted off of campus. And you see Will strapped into the chair. And I think he cut him a little bit, and Will was bleeding, like he was about to start experimenting on him.
Yep, he cut him on the arm.
And then like the fight continues. Eventually, Mark, does he remove the faceplate again, or is Will's boyfriend's face just shown? I don't remember which one is happening. Well, that doesn't matter. Well, Will
I think he removes the faceplate.
Gotcha. Will sees his boyfriend, and he's like pleading with him. I'm
gonna look back a little bit.
He's pleading with him to help Mark, because Mark's getting the shit beat out of him by like the 4 fucking cyborgs. Mark needs. When I say Mark needs to hit the gym, man needs to hit the gym. Okay, he's getting beat up by these robots, and eventually, Will gets through to his boyfriend. He breaks like the mind control, I guess, if you can call it that, like the brainwashing, and like he removes a chip from the back of his skull, and the fight continues, but he's helping Invincible take on the other 2 or 3 cyborgs. So yeah, how did you feel about that scene?
Robot. Right. So I thought that was pretty cool. Like I guess like Will's like love and attraction is what brought him to, So it's kind of cool to see. Yeah. But they got their ass beat at the end. And Invincible even got his ass beat, but that was basically like the end of the episode. But we did miss one part that we didn't go over. I'm pretty sure, isn't this the same episode where Debbie finds the costume of Omni-Man?
Yes.
And she takes it to like the Edna mode of this universe. Yeah. You know how Edna Mode makes all the super suits. So Debbie went to the guy who makes super suits for superheroes, and they did some experiments.
Mark Hamill versus that guy. That's a fun fact. Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill.
Oh, really?
The Joker.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I didn't even realize.
Me neither. I didn't notice that either. I paused it once. I was like, what? Because like when you pause it on Amazon,
is unbelievable.
The cast is stacked.
The IMDb stuff,
it's stacked. Gee.
It's from front to back. Like side characters are fire.
Just
like that's crazy.
That's a name.
That's the episode where they do that.
Mm-hmm. It's also the episode where
every single person, like,
we also did mention like this is the episode where what's his name? Black Noir? No, that's not his name. What's the Black Samson? He gets his powers back because like this is the episode after they get beat up. So and like in the beginning, it's like the hospital scene. They're working on him. He gets his powers back. Monster Girl's fucked up. Mr. Robot's like, hey,
how
man,
did he get his powers back exactly?
I don't know. Just got him back, bro. They were shocking him. They was like, clear. This ain't working. And
they kind of like didn't explain it well enough.
Right. They'll probably explain it later because like he doesn't even know what happened. Like I think that's the point of the show. Like we don't know what's going on here. How did this happen? We'll let you know. Find out next time on DBZ. One of those joints. So. Yeah, Monster Girl's fucked up. Robot Man comes in saying, this is how we fix it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, and then she recovers and stuff. So, yeah. all that good stuff. In the beginning of the episode, we kind of skipped over. We just wanted to hit the main.
She's got a weird attraction to Monster Girl.
Yep. We'll get to that next episode. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, this episode, the last like part of this episode was so like I said, she went to go talk to the superheroes Taylor, I guess, and they found out that Omni-Man was in fact the one who killed the Guardians of the Globe. So now she knows. Now she knows for a fact.
She froze up there.
There we go. She's distraught. She doesn't know what to do. Her husband is a murderer. So when Omni-Man comes home, she's out here like downing a bottle of wine, drunk as hell. It's just like, fuck you. And I was about it. I was like, go Debbie.
Yeah.
So now she knows.
She's all like,
and now Omni-Man knows that she knows.
Yeah.
So that definitely brought into the next episode like more drama. So the episode after was what happened in the next episode?
It opens with what does it open with? Oh, so she wakes up and Omni-Man just did not sleep. This nigga just still standing downstairs, just staring out the fucking window. Mark, Amber, and Will are on their way back home. Amber's not talking to Will. He tries to talk to her. She turns the radio up. She's not with none of that shit. Amber, bitch. Amber. Yeah. So I saw some people trying to say, "Oh, they're teenagers. This is just them not being mature enough to deal." I was like, "I don't give a fuck, bro. Fuck Amber, bro. I don't want to say hate her. Just
fuck Amber.
What are you doing? What are you doing, bro?" That's just my whole thing.
I understood like beforehand, like in the previous episode. I get you. Like he left while you were in danger. Cool. You're allowed to be upset, but you find out in the very next episode that Mark gets out of the car and he tries to like talk to her and he tries to tell her, he goes, and then she slams the door. And so she just goes upstairs. He goes to her room. So he's like, you know what? I want this to work. I'm going to make the conscious decision to tell her who I am, tell her what's going on, why I had to leave. So by the time Amber gets up to her room, Invincible's already there in full costume and he basically confesses to her, like, this is why I'm late all the time. This is, why I left, because I'm invincible. She didn't give no fucks because she already knew that he was a superhero. And she's still bitching at him. What?
Yeah.
That blew the fuck out of me.
Like, where's the logic in that? Like, this man is dealing with life and death situations. Like, yes, some things are going to fall by the wayside. No, he can't tell you who he is. How long have you guys been dating? Like 3 months? Like, what are we doing here? Like, I don't understand. Like, where is your logic here? Like she didn't even miss a beat. Like, he took his mask off, and she just didn't. She was like, "Yep, I know, cool, move around." Like, what?
Right. Like, do you know how much strength and trust it takes for a superhero to reveal his secret identity to someone? And she brushed it off like, "Oh yeah, I know already, and I still don't give a fuck."
Like, it is so dangerous.
That blew the fuck out of me.
Like, there's hella supervillains. Like, you in danger, now my family in danger. If this gets out, shit is gonna be an issue, bro. Like, what are we doing?
Right? And she didn't even care. Not one bit. So it's definitely team fuck Amber, bro. Fuck Amber. And it's even more fuck Amber in the next episode, but we'll get there in a little bit. So yeah, he releases I mean, you're right. Yeah. I mean, he reveals his identity. She didn't give a fuck, and he was sad about it. And I was just like, I mean, you're allowed to be sad, but I would want you to be mad right now because I'm mad. Like, fuck that hoe.
And then we go to.
So what happened after this part? After he revealed himself?
Yeah. So yeah, he leaves. He ends up leaving the house, and we cut to a scene of Monster Girl. She's going back to home base. All the lights are off. She's like, "Hello, anyone there?" She's like, "Wow, what a welcoming for me, almost dying." And then you see Rex blows, light off a firework, and it's a big old party. They go, "Welcome back." This, that, the third. They're like, "Yo, we got this beer in these milk cartons because we got to keep it hidden or whatever." And then while they're celebrating, Robot Man goes to talk to her. He goes to talk to her, and he like glitches a little bit. and like saying, like he keeps stuttering, die. And they're like, what the fuck? Yo, Robot Man, are you good, man? Like, what is happening? He's like, oh, my bad. It won't happen again. Just a little small glitch. And we cut to a scene of a truck pulling up to the Mauler twins' little cloning base. And they tell the, huh?
No, I said you could call it that.
Yeah. And so they tell the driver to get out. He doesn't move. They let a warning shot off. Turns out it's a hologram. And then out walks Robot Man. So there's two robot men in two different locations. So that's kind of probably why cross signals probably got glitched in the home base over there with Boss Girl while this man was tweaking. And essentially, their Robot Man is an actual person, but he lives in like this cryostasis water tank hyperbolic chamber thing, and he's like
essentially when he's recuperating. He's in that water.
Yeah. He's like a clump of cells essentially with like a face and a big ass brain, and he just controls like all these different robot men, and they're like his avatars to go out and like do his bidding essentially. And so he talks to the Mauler twins. He's like, yo, look, I need a body. I gave you the DNA. Where's it at? They show him the body. They're like, oh, cool, bet. Just remove all these fail safes you put in this body because I can see them. I'm not stupid. I knew you would do this. And they're like, all right, bet. We got you. It's cool. So, yeah, that's where we're at with that.
Right. So they did that. And so you find out that that Robot Man is actually just like super genius whose body is completely failed. Like he's basically like still like a mutated fetus is what he looks like. Yeah. So that's who Robot Man really is. Mm-hmm. And I like how they initially introduced Robot Man. It's like, okay, cool, he's doing what he's got to do. But then at the very end of the episode, in like the very first or second episode, like he looks kind of shady because he's the one that's breaking out the Mauler twins. So you're thinking like when that happens, oh, he's probably like the big bad, or he's got bad intentions. But you find out that he just wants to live, and like the conversation that he had with his clone. So that's what the Mauler twins did. They gave him some DNA, or they got some DNA, and they created a new body for Rudy, is what his name is. And like the conversation that the mutated body has with his new body is so genuine and important. It's like live the life that I could never live with this body that I have now. It's like you and I have the exact same mind, because that machine that the Mauler twins has, it doesn't make a new brain. It literally copies the brain like verbatim. Like everything is exactly the same. So the new body has all the memories, all the emotions, everything that the old body has. And as the old body, this mutated clump of cells is talking to his new body, he's like, I did this for you. I'm going to die. I know that. But we have the same mind. I want you to live like I couldn't. And I thought that was really important. It was just like, it just gave you perspective of like who, like, he was a prisoner in his own body, like he had this super gigantic, intelligent mind, but he was a prisoner in his own body. And to have him have that release, it was kind of like, damn, I feel for you, bro. Like I know you were a robot, but I feel for you,
Yeah, 100%.
So, and that's why Robot Man was able to have emotions. It's because he wasn't just a robot. He was a human using a robot as a body. So it just came full circle. I like the way that they did that. It's like you thought that he was going to be a bad guy, but he's just a tortured soul who's just trying to get some relief. So I really like that.
Yeah, it's something he said. He said for a moment, there was a moment there where I closed my eyes and I opened them and I was in this new body essentially. And I was like, damn, that's like that's crazy. Like, because he essentially is the other like deformed version of him. Like they're literally the same person.
Exactly.
And like there's a moment there of like confusion. He's like, how is this a thing? And like even the Mauler twins, they say this, they're like, you have it easy because you will know which one is truly the real one, because they always bicker back and forth of, no, I'm the real one, no, you're the clone,
right?
Because like it makes the machine makes such
a copy,
a perfect copy that they just don't know, So I like how that, like you were saying about the conversation they had, like he woke up with the real confusion, and he was like, but we're the smartest things on earth. Like we can think of something that can save you. And like how you were saying, he was like, no, this is what I wanted. You go live for us. Right. Go out there, go live your best life, essentially is what he's saying. Like, yeah.
Exactly. And he kept saying us and we and not you and me. And I was like, that's also important because mentally they are the same person.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just like, it was good writing. That's what it was.
Yeah, 100%.
Really
100%.
So I did like this episode a lot. I liked Robot's arc a lot. I didn't think, not one bit did I think that this arc was going to go the way that it did. I thought he was just going to be a big bad who was infiltrating the Guardians of the Globe and dismantling it from the inside. But like I said, it's just a tortured soul just trying to live a better life. And I was like, damn, bro, like that got me. I was like, damn.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was good. What happened after this?
We get a conversation. We get a conversation between Mark and Will. Mark's all distraught that Amber broke up with him essentially, and Will was like, buddy, it was kind of inevitable, you did ditch her all the time, you weren't really telling her the truth, and he was like, you're not helping. He was like, hey man, I'm just here to keep it real with you. And then he's like, and when I asked you for help, you bailed on me to go get her back, and my boyfriend is now a monster. And then Will kind of took offense to that and flew away. He wasn't wrong. Like, he was not wrong. And Will took that shit personally. He was mad he got called out and flew away. He's like, I need to talk to someone else. You're not helping.
I mean, yeah, he was mad he got called out, but I think maybe the timing wasn't right.
Nah, you got to own up to your mistakes, bro. Accountability don't wait for nobody, bro.
I think the timing wasn't right. I think he should have the wound was so fresh. I think Will should have gave him some leeway,
I don't know, G. You got my man's fucked up. You a superhero, bro. What you trying to be normal for? Move around. Come on now. It's the time.
He's still a human, though. He just he was a superhero. It's like there's obviously a learning curve. Cut him some slack.
I ain't rolling, G. What Uncle Ben say? With great power comes great responsibility. You ain't a kid no more, nigga.
Uncle Ben not here.
Who you are. You were pissing and moaning when your dad telling you about, you're gonna get power someday. He's like, yeah, you got powers. You ain't normal no more, bro. It's just what it is. You're an adult now. You're an adult superhero. Be it. Be it, bro.
Okay. I'm not saying you're wrong because you're right.
He's being coddled, bro. He literally left because he wanted to be coddled, bro.
Yes. And maybe that's what he needed in that time. Show him tough love afterwards. So you know how Sam Wilson says to Bucky when they're having that conversation while throwing the frisbee, throwing the shield back and forth through each other? They're conversating, they're going through their trauma, and he goes, all right, are you ready for some tough love? That question is important.
Trauma because if this nigga had, bro, he went through a breakup. Boo-hoo, nigga. Boo-hoo. People break up all the time.
So what? It's still fresh. Doesn't mean that he can't be sad. Doesn't mean that he can't have emotions.
I'm mad you just compared Bucky being mind control for like 100-some years, murdering other people he didn't want to.
I'm not
seeing all those faces.
What I'm all I'm saying is the way that Sam Wilson asked. He said, "Are you ready for some tough love?" Will just went in on his ass. It was like, "Man, fuck you! Stop being a bitch, bro. You did this. You did, and you fucked me up."
But do you know who Sam Wilson deals with? Veterans who's been through shit. Mark, what are we? It's a breakup, my dude.
Mark just got his ass beat by an intergalactic giant cat.
But that's not the issue at hand. The issue at hand, he's mad about a breakup. If you want to talk about that, I get you. We talk about a breakup.
I'm saying he's going through a lot, I'm saying he's in the last 3 weeks, he's gone through a fuck ton. So cut him some fucking slack.
Nah, G, I don't like that coddling shit. What do we call him? You're a superhero. Stop being coddled, bro. You know what I mean? That's what's wrong with him. We coddle people.
Superhero.
Hey, bro,
he just became
great
a superhero.
Power come great responsibility.
So
you got to go do that.
Mindset switch in one day.
Yes.
So you're telling me you're a kid your whole life. You're just a regular human, and then one day, as soon as you become a superhero, your mind just switches, and you're like, "Oh, I'm a superhero."
What I'm telling you,
and just like you're on every superhero, like
if I was 17 and got superpowers, I wouldn't be dealing with none of this fuck shit. It would have been a problem, my guy. I would have been out there doing whatever the fuck I wanted to, because who gonna stop me, nigga? What are we talking about, G? Talking about some breakups. No, nigga. Hey, what you doing?
I hope
you ain't doing it no more. Oh, no? Fuck you talking about, nigga? The fuck? I'm just saying, bro. You need to stop calling.
I hope you never get superpowers.
Yeah, and I'm not. I probably won't, because, you know what I mean? It'll be a fucking
maybe
issue.
If you coddled some superheroes more, they wouldn't turn out to be like Omni-Man.
But we'll get to that, because I'm on Team Omni. That nigga did nothing wrong, but that's beside the point.
Wait, Omni-Man didn't do nothing wrong?
Nope.
So that subway is just, it was all right with you, right?
Hey, do you kill ants?
What was that?
Do you kill ants? Do you kill bugs?
No. I mean, sometimes I do, but I don't go out of my way. I'm like, oh, here's an ant. I'm going to step on this motherfucker. I don't go out of my way. And I don't use
every bug in your house.
Other ants.
So every bug in your house you pick up and put outside?
Oh, no. Yeah, you're right. But so you're calling humans a bug?
What the fuck is a human to a god? Nigga, I don't give a fuck about these humans. What are we talking about right here, my guy? Come on now.
I honestly hope you never get superpowers.
But am I wrong? What does a guy give a fuck about humans for, bro?
You're gonna be out here just arresting folks and smashing their skulls.
Gee, this man said, well, he gonna live 50. We'll get there. We're not even on that episode. G. We're not even on that episode.
Yeah, but we'll get there. Yeah, we'll
get there. This nigga saved the pilot. He was like, that was 50. He's gonna live another 50 years. That was. Let's go.
We'll get there. Hold on. We'll get there. We're not there yet. So,
did you freeze? Hello?
Internet is not doing well. Internet is not doing well. We're breaking up a little bit. But just to wrap up this, what's up?
I didn't say anything.
Can you see me?
Yeah. You're moving out again. Yep. Well, is he back? Well, I'm gonna just continue. All right. So after that scene of Mark wanting to be coddled because he's acting like a baby, we get Cecil. Cecil meets up with Debbie. He's asking her, where is Mark? Because Mark is like the only person on the planet who has a chance at stopping Omni-Man. They're talking about how Omni-Man killed the Guardian. Cecil's like, I know. She slaps him. He's like, you're an asshole, essentially. And then he says, I know, but where's Mark? Where's Invincible? And like it cuts to the screen. Honestly, this entire season with the title card has been phenomenal. My only issue was with the last episode would probably be the last but the only one I had an issue with the screen card. But every time
why?
Because I feel like in the season finale the screen card one was kind of corny a little bit. But this one, like every other one, like it worked, it flowed perfectly where the name Invincible comes up.
Yeah, I agree.
Organic and very like just it flowed better than the one that happened in the finale. But that was just a little nitpick. It was kind of corny to me. But yeah, so then we cut to a scene
in the finale. Wait, hold up. The one in the finale, was that the one that Rudy says like he'll have to be invincible in order to fight Omni-Man? Yeah, that was kind of corny. Yeah, you're right.
I was like you were doing so well until now, but like I'm still giving it a pass. Let's still give it a pass.
Yeah. Right, so. And I like how the title cards got bloodier and bloodier each episode.
Yeah. Then we get a scene of Omni-Man on top of a mountain practicing what he's gonna say to Mark. He has to break it to Mark like, look, you're a Viltrumite. I know you lived as a human with all that fuck shit, but we them niggas in space, bro. We do that damn thing. You know what I mean? So he's practicing his speech, and he's just like, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot. Then we cut to Robot Man is telling the what's it called? The thermal twins? Hodge twins? Nope. Fucking Mulder twins. He's like, all right, time for y'all to go back to jail. I got what I wanted. Time for y'all to jail. They was like, what? And then they get to boxing. This is a cool little scene. I like how they were running around their lab and they were talking. You're like, you know what? One thing about being identical clones, we know exactly what each other's thinking. And like each one of them are grabbing separate pieces of different things and tossing them. They're putting them together and then tossing it back and forth, dodging the giant robot that Ruby just made out of the van that pulled up. They brought him there. And they're essentially make like a rail gun. And they one of them distracts the robot, and the other like slides out of a corner and tries to take a shot at Ruby. Is it Ruby or Robbie? What is it? I think it's Ruby. Yeah, tries to take a shot at Ruby, and it catches him off guard, and the giant robot just in time reacts and blocks the shot. And then he gets a call. Rudy is what it is. You're right. Yeah, and then they go hide it.
Rudy.
Yeah, Rudy. Yeah, and then they get a call. I mean, then they are behind a thing like, yep, that we can only do that shit once. So now what the fuck we're gonna do? And then Rudy gets a call saying that everyone report back to home base from Cecil. And then they're like, well, I guess we just gotta go out swinging, I guess. And they come around, and Robot Man is gone. How did you feel about that scene?
Just gone. I thought it was dope. Just like how you said, I liked how they were grabbing different parts of different parts and throwing it to each other. It just and they even commented on it. It just shows like they really are one mind. They knew exactly what to do with each other. Their teamwork was impeccable. They're just like, let me dodge here, throw that blink. And so it was just like it was cool to see the demonstration of their minds being an exact copy of each other. So I thought that was just a cool, just visual demonstration of that.
Yeah.
After they fight, what happens in the show?
Omni-Man goes back
home. Blank.
He goes back to the house. He's looking for Mark. And he's looking for Debbie. Yeah. And I think either the door cracks open, or like he hears like a floorboard squeak, and this nigga like, something ain't right here. What's going on? He started looking around. He fucking grabbed the air, grabbed some invisible motherfucker out of the fucking air, just crushed him. And then all hell breaks. They start firing off on him. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't think you can pay me enough for that job. I don't think I'm gonna just be shooting at him. Like this ain't gonna work. Yep.
Like they don't got like, is there a kryptonite at all? Like, does he have
there's weaknesses later on through the series, but like essentially, only thing that can kill a Viltrumite is another Viltrumite. Essentially, someone of that like power, and like that's rare.
So that's why Mark was the only. Yeah. That's fucked up.
So yeah, you just get a scene.
Yeah, he murdered a hell of people in his own home.
He pushed one of the soldiers into like their island and their kitchen, and the bottom half stopped on the island, but his torso slid over that bitch.
Kept going.
He like slid over into the counter behind him. That was crazy, bro. Crazy. Essentially, he knocks one of them outside. They like start reaching for the house next door because previous episodes we learned that Cecil was keeping tabs on him in that house across the street. And Omni-Man looks over and he flies into the house. And that's where you see Cecil's like number 2 there. And he's like, everyone get out of here. And he tries to like hold Omni-Man off for as long as he can. And obviously he can't because he's just a normal human. But he gets one good shot off with like this big rail gun that he has. It like singes Omni-Man, but doesn't do any real damage. You know, he talks. He's like, Cecil's number 2 is like, I'm sorry, or some shit like that. Gives a little speech, and I'm just like, who are you talking to? And Cecil's number 2 hits a button on the desk that was in front of him, blows up the house. Debbie sees this, and she's like, oh my God. What did you do? And he's like, hey, man, look, first of all, it was not that much explosives. We had to dim it down even with evacuating the neighborhood, okay? It wasn't that much, and they only going to knock him out for a second. And then the smoke clears on the screen. It's like, or not a second, or it's going to do nothing. So
Right, exactly. It didn't do shit. And they threw everything that they had at him, like throughout the episode. Everything that they had like a laser, like a satellite laser beam that came and rained hell on him directly.
Yeah.
And he took that shit like a champ.
Yeah, because after the explosion, he started flying towards Mark. He tried to after the explosion, he ran into Will and he was like, Will, where the fuck's Mark at, G? You were supposed to have him back by 1. It was like 1.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, him and Amber broke up. He didn't like what I had to say because he's soft. He flew away to find Eve. So he's like, where does Eve?
I love how
he
didn't care. Yeah. I love how he didn't care that he was in his Omni-Man uni. He's like, you know. You're like, yeah. I don't care if you know anyway.
Like, he's like, Omni-Man or Mr. What, Grayson? No.
Yeah.
What? Is it Grayson?
Yeah, Grayson. Yeah.
Yeah. Bad. Yo, low-key, Mark is 100% modeled after Nightwing. 100%.
He's 100% what from Nightwing?
Modeled after Nightwing. Like the look, the build.
100%. One like same, like almost like same facial structure. Like they look alike.
Like the acrobatics, Grayson, the way he flies is kind of like a Dick Grayson mixed with a Spider-Man, you know?
Yeah, I would definitely have to agree. I think it's cool though. Like I'm rolling. I like Dick Grayson, so that's cool. Man.
So he flies off to the woods to find Eve and Mark, and then that's when you said Cecil lets the fucking whatever you wanted, the fucking giant laser cannon from hell, fucking rain down on Omni-Man. And I thought it was funny how in the middle of flying he was like, "You wouldn't dare." That shit was hilarious,
right?
And it just fucking smacks him. Yeah, that was a pretty
just like to him.
Yeah, the explosion was like, I really fuck with that explosion because that was like one of the few times I was like, yo, that's some anime shit. Like that, the way the explosion happened, I was like, that's some anime shit. Because there's definitely a distinct difference between like American animation and like anime animation. And I like how they semi kind of incorporated it into that one scene with the explosion. That shit was pretty dope. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they tried everything man-made possible to try and slow him down. And it didn't. It didn't slow him down. Like maybe for like a half a minute, but like he was right back on track and going to see Mark. And Mark and Adam Eve are like talking their things out. They're like, Mark is trying to get some advice from a fellow student and a superhero, so she knows what he's going through and stuff. And she's just like, look, this is what it is. You got to do what you got to do. And then she starts noticing all that like hellfire that they're raining down in the middle of wherever they were. So she's like, oh, we got to go help. Like there's danger in that area. And Mark was kind of like, nah. He was kind of like, nah. So Adam Eve was like, well, I'm going to go.
Yeah. I really
so she went, and then Mark eventually followed after.
Yeah, I really liked how like she also didn't coddle him. She was also like, bro, you're kind of being a baby right now. Like, yeah, I know I'm out here, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to help people. You're really going to sit there and not help? Fuck you doing, buddy? Like, what are we doing?
Right.
Fucking bum.
Yeah, that's where I don't agree with Mark. Mark was like, I'm not even going to be a superhero anymore. I'm like, he's sulking. He was kind of acting like a little bitch. Now, there's a point in time for all that. Like you can't like you're totally allowed to feel your feelings 100%. But like when you have powers and you don't use them, Adam Eve said that. She's like, when you can help and you don't, it's gonna make you feel a lot worse. And that's 100% true. Spider-Man says like the same thing in Civil War. He's like, when you have powers and you don't use them, they happen because of you.
But like that's essentially what Will said to him, and you were all like, "Nah."
No, all I was saying is that Mark as a human needed his best friend to just hear him out for a little bit and not blow him up. That's all it was.
I don't feel like he blew him up. He just called him out on his bullshit, So we not supposed to call niggas out on their bullshit.
No, of course you are. You are notorious for that. That is who you are, and I love you for that. You always call us out on our shit. When we wrong, you ain't afraid to tell us, and that's part of the reason we love you, James. But if I come to you and I need to talk to you and I need some advice and I'm emotionally fucked up, I need you to be just like, Just shut up and listen once. Sometimes you need to shut up and listen.
If you was a superhero, you was crying over a breakup, I'd be hella pissed at you right now. I'm like, nigga, go feed some starving kids somewhere, bro. What are we talking about?
Well, superheroes can't have feelings. They can't have relationships. They can't have breakups.
Regular relationships, regular feelings, no, no. You got too much power, bro. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
All right, I'll give you that one because it was a regular human, and she was kind of being a bitch and not understanding. I get that, but like, if I need someone to talk to, and like, there's a time and place for each conversation, and in that conversation, I think it was a time that he needed to just get consoled.
But 3 months? You just toe up over 3 months?
Yeah, that's true. That's also true. I'll give you that.
Now, if y'all was with each other for like thousands of years, I'm like, all right, I get it. That's a
thousands of years.
That's a I'm like, I get you, my guy. Shit.
Yeah, I agree. But all I'm saying is that there's a time and place for each conversation. I think that at the time that he was talking to Will, he needed to be consoled. But the time that he was talking to Eve, I think he needed to be told what he was doing wrong.
Yeah. What else do we got in this episode? Yeah, so I'm gonna make it hit with
the Guardian came
space
back.
blast, and then he goes and destroys it.
Not the Guardian.
What happened?
Remember the Immortal got brought back to life?
Yeah. So after he gets hit with the space blast or whatever, he keeps flying Mark, and then Cecil was like, "That was the world's most expensive nosebleed." I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, that's true. That's all I had.
And then
it was literally just a nosebleed.
Yeah, and then Cecil's like, "All right, teleport me down there." He teleports down there. He shoots a railgun at Omni-Man. They essentially have a conversation while Omni-Man's trying to murder this nigga because Cecil's just teleporting himself in different places of the battlefield. He's like, "Hey, bro, what we on, man? I thought we was cool. The Guardians was your friends." And Omni-Man was like, "Yeah. Shut up, Cecil. Get out of my way. What are you doing? I gotta find my son. Move around." Cecil's like, bro. I mean, I can't do that, but what I can do is what I've been doing since I already know you was a bitch, nigga. Buy us some more time. Yo, Cecil fire, bro. Cecil fire. I fuck with Cecil, bro. He cool people.
Me too. He knows his role, and he knows how to get the best out of each situation.
Mm-hmm. And he make the tough decision.
Look, I can only do this.
Do what need to be done.
Exactly. So I like Cecil a lot, and the voice actor, they picked a good one because like he sounds like a strict business, like I ain't playing games. This is what it is. I'll do what I have to do. And I like that, bro. He literally did what he had to do.
Yeah, and I fuck with buddy who play him. I forget his name though.
Walter or something.
Walter Goggins, bro. That's my boy from fucking Justified, bro. That's the homie, bro. He was also in fucking he was in SOA too. He played like a little trans girl. He probably can't do that today. Niggas would be mad. But that's besides the point. Yeah. So essentially, the last, and then he's like, buy him some more time, and then the robots come. The robots from episode before show up. They drop there in like the little pods, and it turns out that Cecil, after arresting the guy, Ezra Miller's character in the previous episode, he essentially like hired him. He employed him. He was like, "Yo, look, we might need this." Future reference. Come on, you working for me now, broken jaw and all. So like like 3 or 4.
They didn't use real live bodies. They didn't use real humans. They used dead soldiers. So I thought that was a cool. And I like the way that he said it. He's like, it's former soldiers serving their country for one last time. I was like, this motherfucker Cecil, bro.
Yeah, that's a bar. Like Cecil, he do what need to be done, but he ain't the fucking monster like fucking Ezra Miller's fucking character, bro.
Exactly. Yeah. I thought that was a great line.
And they start piecing Omni-Man up a little bit. I ain't gonna hold you, G. They start piecing him up.
A little bit. They were holding him down. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it was multiple of them on one person. So like a little bit, but it wasn't gonna last long.
They were biting his face was the funniest shit I've ever seen, bro.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. They was literally trying to take a bite out of him. But like in Omni-Man fashion, he makes quick work of those guys. Gets them up out of there, and then Cecil's like, "Well, one last effort." The Cthulhu monster from the episode where I think they went to like him and Omni-Man and Debbie went to dinner somewhere, and this creature was attacking.
Oh yeah.
And Omni-Man was like, "Government can handle it. I'm out here with my wife." So that creature, he drops it there. And he's like, Omni-Man says, "Oh, you must be getting desperate, Cecil. I already beat this thing once before." And he says, "Well, we hopped it up on every painkiller known to man, and we removed the pain center or whatever. So have fun, buddy."
And it's pissed off.
And it's pissed off. It blames you.
Cecil, man. Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, Cecil out here, bro. He making power moves.
Yeah. So we get that little nice fight scene. Honestly, and I'm usually not a fan of like giant monsters fighting people, like humanoid people, because I feel like it doesn't look good. Like you just got this giant monster swinging, and then you got this little figure just like hitting it usually. But like with this, they use the mouth tentacles as like smaller appendages to fight Omni-Man, and I really thought that was cool. Instead of this creature swinging big ass hoofs that Omni-Man is going to see coming from a mile away, you know?
Right. Yeah. And at this point, this is when Adam, Eve, and Mark are like on their way to go see what the trouble is. And I believe Mark like runs into his dad. He's like, "Oh, Dad," and he like saves his dad from like getting eaten by a tentacle, like getting eaten by that monster or whatever. And then they have like a father-son moment, like, "You're ready to beat this thing together." And he's, Mark is thinking like, "Oh, like me and my dad are going to tag team this. And this is like, everything that I've wanted, I'm going to tag team this monster. We're going to live, we're going to defeat it. And we're going to be like, live in glory afterwards." And then, so they're fighting and they're doing that. And then they get interrupted by the Guardian. Oh, I'm sorry. They get interrupted by the Immortal. And the Immortal is the guy who was murdered. He was in the Guardians of the Globe. He was murdered, but, they brought him back to life somehow because I guess his name is the Immortal, so he doesn't really die or whatever. But he comes back to life and he's pissed. He knows who killed him. He knows who killed the Guardians of the Globe. So his one-track mind is, "I'm going to fuck up and Omni-Man." And so that's what he goes to do. He flies right over there and interrupts the big battle So let me just break that down. It's the big ass monster and the Immortal fighting against Omni-Man and Invincible. Okay. And that's difficult as it is fighting that monster, but to have like another human, like another immortal, like superhero fighting you alongside of that, that's tough. That's tough as shit. So Omni-Man got really pissed in the middle of the fight. Because the Immortal was kind of throwing hands a little bit. Like he was giving him that work. And Omni-Man had to do what he had to do. And he fucking just sliced his ass in half, bro.
Yeah.
Just slice his ass in half. And that's when Mark realizes who his dad really is. And he literally witnessed his dad murder somebody. And this is his father, who's Omni-Man, who he grew up idolizing. He has his father on such a pedestal. And to see it firsthand that your dad is nothing more than just a murderer is it's like world altering. Like your mind is like, what just happened? It's like almost like you can't fathom reality. Like everything that you knew before is a lie. And it was, Omni-Man has been lying to him for his whole life. So that was cool to see that how they zoomed in on Mark's face and just to see like the real emotion that he had realizing who his dad is.
Yeah. To give a little context, so in the last episode, the campus episode, at the end of it, because they usually have like little end credits, you see the stepson of the security guard from the first episode and his friend digging up the living immortal's grave, because they're like, "Bet it said that if you like eat a piece of his body, you'll become immortal too." And then the Moeller twins, like, "Yeah, move the fuck around, bro. We're taking this body with us." So we get after Robot leaves, we get them putting together the living immortal's body, like piecing them back together, and they put like this collar on him that they got from Robot for making Robot's body so they could control him, but it doesn't work. When he wakes up, when they put him back together, he doesn't wake up right away. One of the Immortal twins start beating on his chest, and he's like, sometimes you need a little jump, like Frankenstein. And then the other one was like, well, one, that was electricity, and two, that was only in the movie. I thought that was funny. Mm-hmm. And as he's beating on his chest, you see flashbacks of the living immortal's life. You see him as a caveman touching like this space rock that made him immortal. He's kind of like Superman mixed with Vandal Savage a little bit. And like you just see him through time, all the great things that he's done, all the lives that he lived. And I think it was funny how they showed him as Abraham Lincoln. I was like, okay, bet. And I think he might have been
was he Abraham Lincoln?
Yeah, I think he was like Caesar, Abraham Lincoln, somebody else. So like he comes back and he's pissed. And he's like, "Oh no, man! Where is he?" Literally, and they try to use the collar to control him, but that shit does not work. And he flies off pissed, looking for fucking Omni-Man. And does he kill him? No, he kills him in this episode. Okay, yeah. So the like you said, the battle ensues between Mark and the giant Cthulhu-looking monster, and Omni-Man and the living immortal. And something I thought was pretty cool, because like in the comic, the living immortal, Cecil gets his body, and Cecil's the one who like brings him back, and Omni-Man finds that out, and that's what that's the catalyst for him to tell Mark what's really going on, because he knows shit's about to blow up. And I thought they were just gonna be done with the living immortal, because they like switched it up on me. I was like, okay, so I guess he's just dead then. That's cool, whatever. He was kind of like a little minor character anyway. But no, the way they brought him back this way was pretty neat. I didn't see it coming, and then I like that. And like the writer, Richard Kirkman, something, I think that's his name, the guy who does The Walking Dead. He did an interview with Grace Randolph, and he was like, yeah, we're going to keep some stuff the same, but we're going to switch up some of the things. And like, this was one of the things that he switched up. And like, that shit was dope. I like it. I like the kind of keeping me on my toes. Like, for the most part, I know where the story is going to go, but even with them throwing like little wrenches in the comic story is pretty fucking dope. Is pretty fucking dope. And one of the scenes in the fight that I really enjoyed was Mark is getting beat the fuck up by the Cthulhu monster, and Omni-Man is trying to get to them to help him. And Living Immortal literally every time is stopping him just like a little bit away for him to be able to get to his son. That was a pretty, that moment, and like other things in the next episode that we'll talk about. I'll just bring it up then. I just bring this moment mixed with some other things there resonated with me for something that happens next episode. Yeah.
Well, it just shows you that he does really care about his son. Like it shows you that, and what happens in the next episode, which we'll talk about, is important. So,
like, I get that he murdered the living immortal, but like, the world doesn't know what's going on. Like, they just kind of assumed Omni-Man was bad, even though this nigga just came out of nowhere trying to beat the shit out of me. So, I don't know. I don't think I would be like, damn, good shit, Dad. That nigga was trying to beat your ass. Fuck that guy. If that was me.
That's what I would have been like, too. No, I would have been like, too.
Fuck up. Fuck him. That's why you're in half. That's why you're in half. But that's just me. Yeah.
No, I probably would be on the same way. And I feel like a lot of people would be like, if you and your dad, like, this is the moment that you've been wanting for a while. Like, you want to team up, a superhero team up with your father against a big ass monster. And there's some motherfucker just came over here just trying to like interrupt that and then, you know, and destroy my father. I would be on the same boat. Like, yo, fuck this guy. I'm glad you're dead. But Mark being the genuine, innocent person. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mark being the innocent person he is, that's when he realizes like his dad may not be who he thinks he is. And that's the very end of the episode is when he gets killed.
Yeah. Another thing that's different. So Living Immortal, when he gets his hole punched to his chest, he like puts his thumbs in Omni-Man's eyes and it causes them to be red. And like they're red at the end of this episode, and then throughout the whole season finale. That was pretty cool. Like, because it gave Omni-Man a more sinister look, a more unhinged look to make like, oh, he's fucking wild, and now look at his eyes, they're fucking bloodshot red. Like, thought that was pretty dope. That was a nice little touch.
I thought it was dope too, and it was dope to see the continuity. Like, you know, sometimes they would just like forget about it and just like not, you know, leave that into the next episode, but they left it in there, and it like you said, it added some It just added something extra to the scenes.
Yeah. And then the opening of this episode was raining down blood and guts from the living immortal being ripped in half. I was like, oh shit, we get into the business.
Well, I mean, that's what would happen. Like, if you're like, you got hella organs and like blood and shit. So like, if you get slit in half, that shit's gonna like fall out of you, you know?
Yeah.
So it was cool.
Open an episode with really cool. That's a move.
Yeah,
that's a statement.
Exactly.
That's a statement.
That was a dope opening shot, because all you see is the grass, and then you just see blood, like, you know, as if it was rain. You just see it, you know, dropping down, like, ooh, okay, we about to get in the shits, you know, a little foreshadowing to how bloody this episode's gonna be. And it was like, at times I was concerned. Like, I was uncomfortable at times. I'm like, this should like, wow. So we'll just get into it a little bit, but Omni-Man has to explain who he is, what he does, and why he's here. You know, he tells them, like, you know, this is where I'm a Viltrumite. You know, this is our plan. You know, we're part of something greater. You know, we're here to basically take over the Earth and have them become a part of the Empire. You know, and Mark wasn't having it. He wasn't having it. I mean, like, he grew up as a human, so he's gonna grow up with emotions, with attachments to the place that he grew up. It's kind of wild to think that Omni-Man it's kind of wild for Omni-Man to think that his son would just be like, okay, cool, yeah, we're Viltrumites, fuck Earth, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like he just assumed his son would just be like, cool, I'm rolling with it, you know?
Yeah,
is that like, am I wrong for thinking?
No, I'm with you. I think that comes from a place of, he has been indoctrinated in this way of life. He just assuming, he's like, this is what this is who we are. This is what we do. Like, what do you mean? No, like, the fuck, nigga, you're a Viltrumite. This is what we do.
Well, like, but for 17, 18 years, his whole life, he was a human, and this is his home. This is like, so
yeah,
if you think about it for like 2 seconds, you would have been like, yeah.
See, I don't think he's thinking about that, though. He's thinking about, I'm a Viltrumite. This is the cause. This is what we do. You know, he's not thinking about Mark. Oh yeah, he grew up as a human. He's like, oh no, you're half Viltrumite. You're basically pure Viltrumite because our blood is so pure.
Well, you should be. He kind of acknowledges that, actually.
Yeah. Later on in the episode, he's like, maybe I should have told you more then. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, he acknowledges that he definitely made a mistake by not bringing that up, because I mean, in Mark's eyes, like, yeah, he's different, yeah, but in Mark's eyes, like, he's still a human, you know. In his own eyes, he feels like he's a human. Like, yeah, he's a little bit different. He's like, you know, he's got this powers and shit, but he grew up as a human. He's lived as a human his whole life. So it was kind of just odd to think that Mark would just like turn around and be like, yeah, okay, fuck this place. I'll go hang out with these people that I've never even heard of before. You know, like, how could you expect a kid to do that?
For us, yes, it would be odd, but I understand where Omni-Man's mind was. I get it, because, like I said, he's indoctrinated. That's it. That's like, it's kind of almost like a brainwashing, you know. Kind of like how let's just use Hitler for let's use Hitler for an example. The kids who were brought up in that, probably, or like racism, for example, they're taught this is what, and like, if you think different, they're like, what is wrong with you? You're white too, you should be thinking this way, you know. They're not because they're so,
but usually those parents spit that back down to their kids throughout their life, and not just like one day when they're 18, like, oh hey, actually, we're racist, we hate black people, you can't be friends with them.
But I don't think,
like, that doesn't make sense. That's like saying like so let's say I grew up in a predominantly black or brown neighborhood, and for 18 years all my best friends are black and brown people, and then when I turn 18, my dad just comes up to me and goes, hey, actually, we're Hitler stans. We don't like black people and we don't like brown people, so we're gonna just murder them all really quickly. Cool.
But that's not.
That's what that argument sounds like to me.
I disagree.
Like if he had forewarned his son his whole life to tell him like, hey, like, you know, if he had trained his son from day one, like, hey, we don't like, you know, these people, these black and brown, or whatever it is, since we're using race as a topic.
But if I
grew up on that, okay, cool, that makes sense for me to make that transition when I'm 18.
But my counter to that is, we know people who they aren't overtly racist, but like their mindset is racist, and it's not because they were taught like, hey, these people are bad. It's just the way the environment they were brought up in, you know? It's just the way of life for them.
And the environment that Mark was brought in was not that. It was love these people. My dad's a superhero. He saves people. So I don't think that argument is valid at all.
When he asked his dad, should he go help Titan, he was like, no. He was like, no, what the fuck are you talking about? Go help Titan.
You're right, but his whole life, from a kid to until he got his powers, his dad was a superhero. He wanted to be just like his dad. His dad was a part of the Guardians of the Globe. He was saving people all around the world. You know, he was doing those things. So to grow up like that,
but he wasn't a part of Guardians of the Globe.
He was a helper of them. He would help them out every month.
And he always told Mark, do not join a team. Like he was telling Mark, don't join any teams. We don't do that. We're Viltrumites. We don't do that.
Okay. That still doesn't erase the fact that for his whole life, his dad was a superhero saving lives. And if Omni-Man would have just like, it's just unreasonable to expect him to flip a switch just like that, just because his dad said so. If he had pre-warned it,
but I think the disagreement is I understand where Omni-Man's mindset is, why he would be confused at first, is what I'm saying. I get that.
I don't. You can't expect someone else to just make that switch just like that, especially someone. Well, I guess because he's a Viltrumite, it's different up there. So you do have a point. But as a human, if he would have thought about it for 2 seconds, if he would just say, "Oh, but I raised my kid as a human," he might need more than like 30 minutes to just flip a switch.
But he's not thinking of Mark as a human, though, is the issue. Like him in his mind, Mark is a Viltrumite.
Why? Like that? Like
Mark is a Viltrumite in his mind.
Agree to disagree, because like
and he even says it later on in this episode. He's like, our blood is so pure that you're basically 100% Viltrumite. He's not thinking of Mark as a human. He's thinking of him as one of him. You're one of us.
But his emotions and his mind are human. His emotions are not human though. Like he doesn't know who Viltrum is. He barely knows who or what that culture is.
But that's human reasoning. Is what I'm saying. That's human reasoning. You're using human reasoning.
Mark is a human for 18 years of his life.
He lived as a human for 18 years of his life. That's just, it's different.
Yes, he lived as a human as 18 years of his life. So how do you expect him to just say fuck humanity in a day?
Because he's a Viltrumite. It's what we do.
You're literally turning his whole world upside down.
But is that his
world? But Mark isn't. He's not loyal to Viltrum. He doesn't know.
Yes,
Viltrum.
You're correct.
What I'm saying is
he's not thinking that way. That's what I'm saying. He's not.
No, go ahead.
The rationale is not there.
And what I'm saying is he should have thought about it.
How would he think about that if he's so brainwashed about Viltrum, bro? What are we talking about?
All he had to do was just be like, I don't know. He should have just like threw a little bit of a couple more sprinkles there, because the sprinkles that he threw in there weren't helping out. He was just like, Dad, why are you doing that? All right, I'll just do my own thing.
What? What are you talking about? Sprinkles of what?
So Omni-Man didn't leave enough clues. Didn't grow him. Raise him to be a Viltrumite. He raised him to be a human. That's what I'm saying. That was his error.
I would disagree with that. I don't think Omni-Man was realizing he was raising him to be a human. I think Omni-Man was just like, yo, Viltrumite. We are Viltrumites. He's not thinking about Mark being human is the thing. Because Omni-Man himself is so indoctrinated with the Viltrum mindset, he's not thinking about Mark being raised as human, you know? It's a blind spot for him, is what I'm saying. That is a blind spot for him. He didn't think about that because Omni-Man, all his life, was taught this is the cause. Any Viltrumite, this is the cause. So he's not thinking about Mark being
doesn't mean he's not wrong, though.
I'm not saying he's right. I'm saying I understand where he's coming from. Is what I'm saying. Is what I'm arguing. I get that. I get having a blind spot and not thinking about.
I mean,
something.
I guess I can understand, but like, so I guess. Okay, you make a good point. So I understand what you're saying. I guess the only thing I would have to say, it's not even a counter. I just think that Omni-Man went like he didn't think about it. If he would have thought about it for 2 seconds, which he didn't because he was so indoctrinated and so like brainwashed.
Yeah.
If he would have just thought about it for 10 minutes and just been like, maybe we should, since I am gonna, we are gonna take over the planet. Maybe we should figure something out so that he's not so like indoctrinated in the earth, and into humanity. Maybe we should teach him a little bit more about Viltrum. Maybe he should have been had history lessons at home about Viltrum and stuff like that. Not necessarily like what exactly they do, like how they take over planets, but like a little bit more information on where he comes from. You know what I'm saying? So that he has some sort of pride and some sort of sense of self with them. Yeah.
Because my whole argument was just he was not thinking about that because he's indoctrinated. This is what they do. It's a blind spot for him.
And I'm saying that's an error. That's an error.
Yeah.
Like that's all I'm saying. That he should have. Yeah. So we're pretty much on the same page. Just like think about it slightly differently, but we're on the same page. Same page, different paragraph. That's all.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Omni-Man tells Mark where he comes from, that this is what we do, and Mark's not having it. So he's like, I'm not gonna allow you to kill my people and take over the planet, and I'm just not. So he literally puts up his fist and is like, I know what I'm saying, Dad. He puts up his fist and he is not confident at all when he puts up his fists. He's like, I know what I have to do. Like this, I know what I'm saying. And his dad's like, Omni-Man's like, oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just and this is where the torture begins, bro.
Yeah.
I like how sound like that.
I like how Mark at first attacks him.
Saying, he kind of did
mind control,
but like he didn't have to do it like that.
Yeah, I like how Mark was like, "No, you must be mind control. What's going on here? Tell me how to break it." And then he's like, "No, son, this is me. This is where we come from." And then we get the history lesson of Viltrum. So a funny thing is like all the male Viltrumites have like mustaches on. And like that's because like the writer of it, his dad had that mustache, and he's like, "That's just a dad mustache." So I gave all the dads the dad mustache. I thought that was so fucking dope. That was pretty fucking dope.
And I love it. It looks good. Like it looks good seeing a superhero with a mustache.
Yeah. So in the book, Omni-Man is technically the heir to the throne, but his father, the king of Viltrum, or the ruler of Viltrum, was assassinated by someone close to him. And this sparked a civil war. And that's the scene you see of he said the culling of his people. Like you see the big stack of bodies. That was the Civil War. So there's a civil war, and then you see this big old buff dude. He is the one who avenged the king's death. So now he is technically the ruler of Viltrum, and that's who Omni-Man gets his orders from. And let me tell you, Omni-Man was being merciful in this episode. That's all I'm gonna say.
Even though
y'all out here trying to villainize out, no, Omni-Man trying to get you ready because he know what fucking happens if you don't. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say, G. It's gonna be some fucking smoke in the city, my nigga. Y'all think shit's sweet. Oh, the train, the city. Oh, okay. Just wait. Just wait. Y'all thought that was bad. My man was taking it easy on you, bro. Yo, these niggas ain't nothing to play with.
You have no emotion.
No, I'm just a realist. I understand what it is.
No emotion.
I know what fights I can win. I know what shootouts I can win. I'm not. Oh, so we rule by you? Cool. That's fine. We don't get. Go ahead. Come in. Bring where your ships at. Bring him in. Cool. So we just live normal. Just you run shit. I bet. Cool. We good. We good. We good. Like I respect it.
Is that exactly what happens? So like they just. So I'm a little confused as to what happens when the Viltrumites actually get here. Like what exactly happens? Like do they? They don't like just murder the planet and start repopulating, or like what exactly?
No. It's just you're part of them now. Come here. You're under our wing. Come here. We run you. That's it. But if you disobey,
so you're under our wing. What does that entail?
It's just like their government, bro. Like,
do I become your slave or what?
No, not really enslaved. Just like, yo, if you don't do what we say, you will die. And if you rebel, My nigga.
So like what exactly? Like,
you know how we live now?
How do they want to run shit exactly?
You know how we live now with the American government? Is that they just run shit, bro. It's like it ain't like, oh, we in chains, yes, mess. And no, it's like, okay, well, you run shit. It ain't that bad, is what I'm saying. It ain't that bad. Like, yeah, these niggas the overlords, but like the alternative, the alternative, you want that. That's what you want.
Yeah, that doesn't sound too bad. I was under the impression that they come in and they like
no,
they not only do they take over, but they kill everyone.
They only.
That's what I thought. They're just coming here to like murder motherfuckers and just take over the planet.
Yeah, no. If you resist, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Man, fuck the Viltrumites, bro. Man, fuck them, bro.
You know what I mean? You sound like a nigga that want to die. I like living, so you go ahead and say fuck them. I'm gonna be like, yo, Viltrum, what's up? Y'all got any superpowers for me? All right, bet.
Fuck that.
Like I said, I know what fights I can win.
They don't got superpowers for me.
I can win. I'm cool.
Nah. Well, anyway, let's get into this fight because this fight was too brutal, and I was concerned. So Omni-Man was basically telling Mark, Invincible, like, look, if you wanna resist, like, this is what's gonna happen. He was kind of giving Mark a sneak peek of what would happen if Earth were to rebel against the Viltrumites. And he did not hold up. He beat his ass so hard. He punched him to Chicago. I don't know where they were originally, but he punched them so hard, he flew to a different city and destroyed that place. And I love how they showed the consequences of the big superhero fights inside of a city. They did not hold back any blood, any gore, any appendages. They showed the real repercussions and consequences of a big superhero fight inside of a city. And shit was destroyed. Yeah. Like, to us as humans, that's 9/11 times 5, you know?
Yeah. I liked when Mark went to go. So, like, in the book, they're not in the field. The fight instantly starts and they're in the city. And there's a part where Mark is holding up the building and he lets because it's kind of like in the show, but it's different in the show. It's more fucked up. In the book, he's holding up the building. He's letting the girl and the mom know. He's like, hey, look, I got this building held up. I can do this for a little bit. Go ahead, take your time, grab your stuff, and please exit stage left. In the show, this man tries to save the mother and the daughter, and that shit does not go well at all. That shit does not go well one single bit, bruh. One single bit. Up. Still there?
There we go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
We good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, he tried to hold that building up and try to save old girl and her daughter, and it didn't work out, bro. It didn't work out. He tried his best, and like you saw it in his eyes, he was trying to console the little girl. He was like, "Look, don't be afraid. I'm gonna get you out of this." And the building collapsed on top of him. He's holding the mother by the hand, and when he comes out of the rubble of the building, he's still holding her hand and arm, but the arm isn't attached to the body. Mm-hmm. That's fucked up, bro. You imagine the trauma Mark is experiencing right now. Yeah. He is like fucked up.
Like, now, this nigga got something to feel away about. This is some fucked shit. This is some fucked up. Your dad is beating your ass. So he got punched through a building, and the force of him going through the building and the street just murdered hella people, bro. He was bringing all types of trucks and rocks and just like, oh my god. I did all this with my body? That's crazy. Like,
and the fact, upsetting. And the fact that like they showed all the like the blood and the appendages being like flown through the air as he was like, like falling through the city, to show the actual destruction. I think it's super important because like I think we lose that. Like, sometimes like when the Avengers or the when they're destroying New York City, you don't see all that. You see some people running away, and they may have like some dirt and some smut on their face, but they're running away. We don't see the people like inside the city actually get murdered. So I do think that's important to see, because like having a superhero has consequences. Like this ain't just like, this ain't just all fun and games. Like people are on the streets living, trying to at least, and these two superhero fucks are just fucking up the whole place.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
it was just it was a lot.
And then after the building and after being knocked through all the street of Chicago, Omni-Man shows up there, gives a little monologue or whatever, and proceeds to punch Invincible down into the subway, and then holds his son up in front of a subway car. He says something like, "Oh, okay, so you want to save them?" And they're like, "Save this bitch!" And then as the train comes through, you get a POV shot of Mark witnessing the destruction of the train crashing into two Viltrumites and all of the guts and gore of these human bodies being ripped apart. And then we pan out to an outside view of it, and we just see blood going all through the train cars as this train is going. And to make matters worse, Omni-Man grabs Mark, sticks him into the ground so the train fucking jackknife hops over off the rail, and more blood and guts everywhere, bro. My man was out here in the streets this episode. Shit was crazy, bro. Shit was crazy.
It was honestly upsetting to see. I was concerned. Like I didn't know how to feel this. I was just like, the whole time I was watching it, I was like, just with the look of just distress on my face, because the amount of damage they did in 2 minutes was immeasurable, to be honest. Like they destroyed a city, and they kind of showed like the reaction of like the humans. Like later on in the episode, they show like a newscasting, and it's like, Omni-Man after the big fight, like this is what happened, and like you really see the amount of destruction that they really did, and it was brutal, my friend. Like, how do you stick your son through a fucking subway and it just like slices through that shit? Every person on that subway was dead, 100%. Every person in the subway platform, most likely dead,
murdered.
So,
yeah, and like even in the field, they have a conversation.
It was a lot.
Yeah, Mark's asking Omni-Man. He's like, "So did you care about any of us? Did you care about Mom?" And he says, "Did I love your mother? Yes, but we lived for thousands of years. She's more so of a pet to me than anything." And like that sounds fucked up, but he ain't wrong. He is not wrong.
It is, like, but it's true.
It's so true. Like her lifespan is literally what a dog's lifespan would be to him. Like, do you love it? Yes. Did you care about it? Yes. Exactly. But you got so many more years to live. You can't just hold on to that. You know what I mean? Like I said before, what do gods care about normal human life? To be honest, like they might be like, oh yeah, they're cool, but like, my nigga, I have eons to live. What am I gonna hold this? I'm gonna grieve about this speck in my life. Like, you talk about I don't got no emotions. I just understand the mentality of it. I get it. I understand it, bro. Like, yeah, you have a point. You have a point.
Yeah, that's. So subjectively, that is one of the most fucked up things I've ever heard in my life. But objectively, if you're looking at it from the outside with nothing attached to it, that makes perfect sense. Like it's. Yeah. So that was one of the most fucked up lines I've ever heard. But it like from Omni-Man, I understand it, because like he mentioned that to Mark. He said like, look, you're gonna live thousands of years. All of your friends, everyone you know, is gonna die, and what will you have? You're not gonna have anything.
Yeah,
you'll have to keep recreating friendships.
Yeah, in the field, he also says, "I did not want this for you." He said when he tells him you're going to live thousands of years and everyone knows you're going to die, and he says, "I did not want this for you." And that's another little Easter egg from like episode 1, why his reaction was so visceral when he found out that Mark had his powers. It's kind of like the little things there. It's kind of peppered in. Like he's like, "Yeah, I was sent here for a mission, and I do love your mom and I do care about you too. And I kind of just wanted you to be in this small pocket of my life, but now you're not. Now you have to join the cause because if you don't, there are some people out there that's going to find out about you and they're going to come in force. So this is essentially what he has to do. Like, if we're being honest, I'll be mad to the shitty position. Because if he don't do this, some people who don't love and care about Mark or Debbie is going to come and be 1,000 times worse than what he just did.
Mm-hmm. True. Yeah, very true. So, like, it's really all about perspective. Like, when you look at it through Omni-Man's eyes, like you said, he has a mission. He's doing what he has to do. But when you look at it through Mark's eyes and literally everyone else on the planet, it's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, you were our savior. You were our Messiah. Like, you know, you were this to us. And now you're here to destroy us. Like, it's just it's a change. It's a big change, obviously, but it's a hard pill to swallow.
It is. I think that's what it is.
How what are you supposed to say to that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'd like to go a little bit further, and so after the giant ass beating, they move it from Chicago, and Omni-Man ends up throwing his ass to another like mountain, and he's beating this man. He's beating Mark into a mountain, like he's beating him into the mountain, like as tough as it can be, and this whole time, like he's trying to talk to him while he's beating his ass. He's like, is this what you wanted? Like, you wanted to save these people? This is what you get for trying to save these people? It's like, what will you have? Like, you'll live past everyone. And what are you going to have? Nothing, you know? And he asks him that again. He's like, what will you have? And Mark, after spitting up blood and guts, and, you know, he's wheezing at this point. He's literally like beaten to a pulp, just on the brink of death. And he's like, what will you have? And with his like, not last breath, but like with such an effort to get the words out, you know, he tells Omni-Man, he's like, yeah, I won't have anything, but he's like, I'll have you, Dad. And as cynical and as one-track minded as Omni-Man is, you know, he has a goal in mind, and, you know, for the most part, he's accomplishing that goal. That broke him. That is what got through to him. Mark is extremely lucky that Omni-Man does have love and feelings for his son. He's very lucky, because at one point he almost didn't think about that. He almost beat his son to a pulp, and he even said, he's like, I could always make a new son. If you're going to resist and fight, I'll just kill you. You know, what's another 17 years to me who lives millions and, you know, in eons and stuff like that? You know, what is another 17 years? I could just make a new one. But the fact that Mark, you know, said, I'll have you, Dad, that got through to Omni-Man, and Omni-Man, you know, he flew away. He left his son in a bloody pulp. He flew away, and we don't know where he went. He just flew, and as he flew away into space, you do see that he was shedding a tear. So he does care about, you know, his people, not Earthlings, but, you know, his wife and his kid.
Yeah.
You know, so it did. Mark and Debbie, yeah. So it did show that, like, yeah, he's not as ruthless as you want to picture out him to be, but he's a soldier who has, you know, a mission, and that's what he was there to accomplish. And it got a little complicated.
Yeah, and I know he said that I can just, 17 years, I can make a new one. I don't necessarily know if he was going to kill Mark, because if that was the case, he could have did that shit in the beginning. He could have been like, oh no, you know what I mean? Like, a Viltrumite is the only other thing that can kill a Viltrumite for the most part, you know? So I think that he was playing psychological warfare. He was trying to beat Mark into submission, because if he really wanted to kill Mark, he could have did that shit. He was get into the fight at the middle of the fight. Like, he really didn't have to go waste all this time, you know? I think he was really just trying to get him to come to his side, beat him into submission.
At the beginning, I think that was the case at the beginning. But on the mountain, I think, like, he was coming close to that decision of like, are you really gonna, like, keep fighting me? Like you can't win. And the fact that he kept trying to, he's like, well, I guess I'll have to do what I have to do. I think he was toying with the idea of making a new son, like as he was beating up Mark.
But like he said that, and if he was willing to do that, why would he just keep toying with him and not kill him there? Like, oh, okay, no, I can make a new one and then instantly kill him. Why would he just keep beating on him like that? You know?
Because obviously he still loves his son. He doesn't want to murder his son. But I do think he was thinking about it while he was beating his ass. Because I mean, he even said it out loud. He said, "I'll just make another son." I do think that. So I don't think that he was intentionally like, "Oh, I'm going to kill him." But when he especially at the beginning, but towards the end of the fight, when Mark kept resisting and just kept on fighting, I do think that thought crossed his mind. He's like, "Oh, well, I guess I'll just have to make a new son."
I think it's for me because I know the further context of the story is why I'm saying I don't think he would have killed Mark, because I know what happens in the future. For me, if that was the case, after he said I can make a new one, he would have just killed him right then and there instead of just beating on him. You know, because the Viltrum War happened. Like, he knows how much force it takes to kill a Viltrumite. So after he said that little monologue, he could have killed them right then and there. For me, I just think that he was still just trying to convince his son, and then he just realized after he said I'll still have you, he just realized this fucking kid's not going to listen, and I'm not going to kill my son. You know, I'm just going to fucking leave. And like you see him fly off into space, and I like how the blood like burns off his suit, and then you just get a tear that drops into frame. You know, that shit was pretty dope.
And I like how they did that, especially because they showed that it froze first and then it like crumpled off. Like, it didn't just like burn off. It like, as he got into the higher atmosphere, it like froze off, burned off, and then came off. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was really cool. So yeah. Omni-Man beat the fucking shit out of his son, left him in a bloody pulp, literally, and left him there. And Cecil had to come in with, the helicopters and try to revive Invincible. So they took him back to the hospital place, and they let him rest up. Didn't they say he was out for like weeks, like 3
something
weeks,
something like that?
Yeah,
something like that.
So now that fight's over, Mark is back healthy. He goes home. As soon as he gets home, well, right before he gets home, I should say, Will, his best friend, is at the house, just like kind of looking for him, just wondering what's going on, hoping that he's still alive. He kind of like fixes the mail, which I think is really, I like that they did that, because that's such a friend thing to do. If I see your house a little bit messed up, all right, let me just fix this up so it doesn't look, shitty. Let me just fix it up so it looks a little bit nicer. And as Will's walking away, he runs into Eve, and she wants to see the Mark as well. And Will's just like happy to see someone else, and he lets it slip that Mark is invincible. He says, I think everything that happened between him and his dad on the news, and he's like, oh shit, he was a little bit too loose with the with his secret identity. Loose lips sink the ship. But luckily, Eve is a superhero and already knew. So she's like, wait, you knew? And he's like, wait, you knew? So I thought that was cool. But the part that blew me was when Mark's at home, Amber goes to see him. And Amber like runs up and gives him a big hug and is like, oh my God, I'm glad you're okay. Man, fuck you. You didn't give a fuck about me like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, what was his energy before? You knew what I was putting up with.
Right.
You knew what I was doing. And now because my dad went fucking postal and I had to fucking get beat the fuck up. Now you care? Bitch, move the fuck around, bro. Mark is a cuck ass nigga, bro. I'm furious that this nigga took her back. Tell that bitch to kick rocks, nigga. What the fuck is you talking about, bro? You didn't care about me fucking 2 weeks ago. What are you here for? Move around, bitch. Oh my God, I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah, I agree. That shit pissed me off. And like, she expected shit just to be gravy. Like, oh, I'm sorry. And it was. He was like, oh, I'll take you back. Oh, stupid
loser ass nigga, bro. I'm about to hold back.
Right? Yeah, I thought that was that annoyed me. I was like, really?
So much.
Yeah, that annoyed me. But yeah, they go out. So after that happens, all four of them, now that they realize that they all know Mark's secret identity, they know he's invincible. They all go out. They go to get burgers, and it was good for Mark. I think Mark needed to like just get away for a little bit, just spend some time with some friends. But when he's out with some friends, I think Cecil calls him, right?
Yeah.
So Cecil calls him and is like, yeah, he's like, look, I know you just got your ass beat, but I know you're not really about this cape shit right now, but you're the only person that we have that could possibly fight against this potential threat. And I think they said it was like someone was coming at Earth at like a supersonic speed or something like that, right? So like Mark, he's like, fuck it, like, I gotta, put the cape back on. So he goes up and it ends up being that alien again. And that alien from like the previous episode, the one that's like the protector of the sector or something.
Character. What is his name? Yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna find it. 1 second. What's his name? Oh. Alan the Alien. There we go.
Alan the Alien, right? Yeah. One, I love that it was Seth Rogen because like you could tell right away. Like as soon as he starts talking, I'm like, oh, that's Seth Rogen, like for sure. But I thought it was hilarious that Alan the Alien is sprinting over to Invincible to warn him that there's a Viltrumite on Earth, and this man's like 3 weeks too late. He should have mentioned this like when they first met, in like episode 4 or whatever it was, because that would have saved a lot of drama. Well, it would have just expedited the drama. Like that shit would have happened like a lot quicker. They would have had a plan to figure something out. So I thought that whole like little, it kind of seemed like a little counseling session that they had together on the moon. It was just like, and I like how they do everything like telepathically, like how Miss Martian does. I thought that was cool too. So overall, this season is one of my favorite superhero shows like of all time.
This is a pretty fire first season of a show.
I think it's like top 5 for me.
Yeah,
I'd have to go.
Something I did want to mention is the character of Debbie throughout this show has been, because in the comics she's your typical oblivious housewife. She isn't depicted the best. She's kind of like when all this shit hits the fan, she kind of breaks and just drinks herself and cries herself all the time. In this, she for the most part held up until she was alone. In those moments alone, she was able to like finally let her emotions free. I like that. I like the way they carried this character in this adaptation.
They gave her more to do than just be like the oblivious housewife. They gave her, she was intuitive. She had a feeling. She went with it. She devised a plan to distract Omni-Man while she goes figure out what's going on with his suit and shit like that. So like they gave her stuff to do. She wasn't just like a random character in the background who was shocked that her husband was evil,
Yeah, and I like her at the end of this episode. She like when Mark goes and leaves with his friend. She leaves the house and she goes meets up with Omni-Man's Taylor or whatever, Mark Hamill, and she's like, "Yo, pour me a drink too."
He's like, "One glass." She goes,
"I don't care, bro. I just need someone to talk to and some alcohol to fucking numb this because this shit's fucked up,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude. This is. Go ahead.
I like so after Mark wakes up in the hospital. Cecil's there and he's like, "Hey man, look, your dad's gone. He didn't change directions, so he's not coming back, we assume. But we do need someone to take his place." And Mark's like, "Not right now. I need time." And he's like, "I understand that." And he brings him to this room that's pure white. And Mark asks him, "What is this?" And he's like, "Oh, lights on." And in the room, you see them working on different technology to try to fight oncoming threats. You see them reviving the living immortal. And he's like, "What the hell?" And he's like, "Yeah, there's this chemical in the water supply that blocks regular people from seeing this version of light, I guess."
Like this light wave, yeah.
Yeah, this light wave. And that room is gonna come. Well, that room and that concept is gonna come into play later on down the line.
Oh, dope! Because I thought that was a cool idea.
Yeah. So that was pretty dope. I like how when he got home, he said when Mark got home, he said his natural like element was to levitate, was to float, like the Viltrumite in him. That shit was dope.
Oh yeah.
Like, all right, I could finally fucking. And honestly, that might be hard for Debbie to witness. To tell you the truth, I don't know how she would feel because like she heard everything Omni-Man said about how she was a pet. He did love her, but like, what does that mean to me? Stuff like that. She just witnessed the man she loved fucking murder hella people, beat the shit out of her son. Fucking his ass was in the hospital for the second time within I don't know how many weeks was in between Battle Beast and fucking Omni-Man of ass whoopings for her son, bro. So
It had to have been a few, like more than a few weeks, because he needed time to recuperate because he got his ass beat, But that's also fucked up that he got his ass, like, he was in a bloody pulp, like, back to back, basically. So yeah, that's fucked up. But that's also a good dynamic to point out, or not dynamic. That's a good thing to point out about Debbie, kind of accepting that her son is still a Viltrumite, and like, yeah, he was raised as a human, but like, he'll always be a Viltrumite, and you'll never know, like, maybe one day he decides, oh yeah, maybe dad was right, fuck all these people, that would just be in the back of her head for forever.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious when Eve told Amber and Will, she was like, well, since you know Mark's identity, I'm a superhero too. And they're like, oh, bet you're duplicate? She was like, what?
Right. You bitches? I would have been
Which is hilarious because she doesn't wear a mask. Like,
right.
She's Adam Eve, bro. Like, her name is Eve already, bro. Like,
right.
What are we doing? What are we doing? Like, were they just being polite or what?
Right. It's not like she has like the Clark Kent glasses where at least, like, people look different with glasses on and with not on, but she's just regular as hell. They're like, oh, I see it now. You can make doubles of yourself. I was like, the disrespect. I would have been tight.
100%.
Cool. Yeah. So I give this show a 9 out of 10, dude. This show was so good.
Yep. And then at the end, they gave us little Easter eggs to what's to come in season 2. We got the Martians and the Starros. We got the Mauler twins are still around. Dr. Seismic, he's in the ground with the fucking lava people, I guess. You still got Titan wandering around. What else do we have? We have Battle Beast is still around. He's still around beating ass. The director or the creator, Robert Kirkman, said there's going to be more of Battle Beast in the show than it was in the comic. So that'd be pretty cool. Sweet. You see Cecil with his army of like the undead soldiers, look like they're fucking souped up this time. They're like gold instead of silver. What else?
They're going to be able to have a lot of seasons that don't involve Omni-Man.
Yeah.
Obviously, like they can build him up as like something bigger, but they laid it out to where we can have multiple seasons with different storylines without him.
Yes. Because I don't know. I'm hyped. I'm curious. I'm hyped. I'm like, how are you going to space this out? Because I wouldn't say it's filler. It's So there's like the main story that's going to happen, and I'm very curious about how they're going to incorporate it with like these like their main stories too, but like they're like kind of side missions a little bit just to get more. Yeah. And like honestly, they can do a few seasons of filler, and it'll be fire before they even get back to Omni-Man, before they even get back to what's his name? It's like Trogus or something, the fucking leader of the goddamn Viltrumites, before they even pop back up. Like,
yeah, they like set themselves up to have multiple seasons and then to use like the bigger storyline. It's kind of like an overarching theme, kind of like how they did with Thanos. Like, kind of, I'm just using that as an example. Kind of like, they planted him here and there and just said, hey, this is a bigger threat. So season 1 was definitely like they just did a really good job of showing you all the potential that they have and how long this can actually go for.
Yeah, 100%. Thrag is his name. There we go. Thrag a problem, bro. Thrag is a problem. He coming. He'll see him. He's gonna be there. Maybe I say in about 4 seasons, Thrag could come back. We'll probably get Omni-Man season 3. Come back season 3. I think they'll cover a little bit of these side characters. Season 2, spread that out.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
You got anything else on Invincible, man? I thought this was an amazing show. I give it a 9 out of 10. I'll recommend it to anybody. And I got a tattoo yesterday, and I had me and my artist watch. We watched episode 1, and literally in the middle, of tattooing, he stopped to watch the final couple episodes of. I'm sorry, the final minutes of episode 1. Where he's destroying the Guardians. He was like, dude, this is a show? He was like, what? He stopped my tattoo and was just watching this. Like, he had my phone to his face. Like this.
To his face. Let's go. Yeah,
he's like, this is not what I was expecting when you told me this. I was like, yes. I can't. It's hidden right now. Hold on. You know what? I'll show the squad. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of my new tattoo.
It's pretty dope, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That shit's fire.
Dude,
like I know I've been saying I want to get a tattoo for forever, but you getting all these comic book take it off. Yes, take it off. Take it off. Take it off.
So it was my boy Jason Todd, Red Hood. So you can't see a lot of the detail because it literally happened yesterday. So I'm still like bleeding and stuff. But yeah, man, this is my hold up. This is my tattoo. Red Hood.
I like how like the domino mask is like you can see the domino mask. Yeah, that's just fire. And the crack in it, bro. Heat.
That's the whole reason I got this tattoo is because Jason Todd, Red Hood, he's one of my favorite characters. Long story short, the reason why I like this character is because he's a damaged human. Okay. He has trauma. Okay. And it's kind of like seeing him in this form with his helmet over his face and then seeing that crack and you can see, the mask on the inside. To me, it just shows that like, just like most humans, we put on a front, we put on like something to show that we're not as damaged as we normally are, and this crack in his helmet just shows that he's a human and he's damaged just like the rest of us. So that's kind of what attracted me to this particular to artist. And this picture is from the Three Jokers comic book. The art on there, I forgot the artist, but the art on there is phenomenal. So it just spoke to me. It's just, he puts on this persona, he puts on this helmet, and someone was able to punch through it, and it just showed that he's a damaged human just like the rest of us. So,
what's crazy? Like, you just said all that, and like that's very true of Jason Todd. And like, I love my damaged heroes. He should definitely be higher on my Robin list, but he's not. It's like it don't make no type of sense. I don't understand why not. Like, all you just said is shit that I fuck with, but like, I don't know, bro.
Yeah,
I fuck with him. We cool people.
Yeah, I see what you mean, but like also like Damian is a whole nother entity in himself. Like he's a whole vibe. Nightwing, Dick Grayson, he's a whole vibe too. And then he's the OG. So like I can see why you don't put Jason Todd as the highest, but that's basically why I like him so much is that he puts on this front, but I know he's just damaged just like all of us.
Yeah, so. I fuck with that. That shit's dope. Your other one's dope too, bro. You got the fucking league over there, bro. That shit's fire.
I'm working on the league, man. I got Flash here. He's not finished. And then I got Diana over here. I think Diana looks dope. So, yeah, I'll get that all finished. I'm a little...
Wait, so is that Red Hood done?
It's done. 100%.
How long did that take?
7 hours.
Interesting.
After hour 5, I was ready to go.
That's funny.
Ready to go. Yeah, I was... I literally came home yesterday and I laid down on the couch. I got home at like 9. I laid down on the couch and I fell asleep until 2 a.m. and I was just out. I was tired. Tired, bro. So you got anything else on Invincible, man?
Invincible, no, man. Shit's fire. I am so fucking hyped for what's to come. I'm ready, bro. I'm ready. You know the Vegeta picture of him standing in the rain like this? That's me. That's me. I'm like, let's go, bro. I'm ready for that shit.
Yeah, dude, that should be tight. I'm super excited. This show is leaps and bounds better than what I was expecting. Like, I'm not familiar with the comic, so I didn't really know.
Yo, we should we'll talk about this off cam, but okay. You know what's crazy? So I've seen people say that like they like this a lot more than The Boys, and like I feel like it's because you can connect to the characters a lot better in this show. I don't know how The Boys season 3 is. They have to one up this. They have to. Like, this is their competition.
I don't think so because Invincible didn't get nearly as much like recognition as The Boys did. I feel like The Boys, again, this kind of goes to like the Amazon thing we always talk about. People don't know they have Amazon Prime, so they don't see a lot of the good shows that come on there and stuff like that. But I feel like The Boys was talked about a lot more on Twitter.
No,
like it was,
I'm not saying talked about though. I'm saying people like it more. Like they identify with the characters more. They are more attached to the characters. Like people who have watched both say that like, yo, I can identify more with the characters in Invincible than the characters in The Boys, is what I was saying.
I agree with that. I think that The Boys has more casuals, if we were to put it that way. Like I feel like they have a bigger overall audience. than Invincible did.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just saying that they're gonna have to be in their bag to try to top this. You know, for people who watch both, they're gonna be like, that was cool, but because even season 1 of The Boys, people slept on. People really didn't get on season of The Boys until season 2, and that's probably going to be the same case here. And when people see this, they're going to be like, all right, well, what are you guys doing over there? Like,
yeah, I can see you, but the only counter to that I have, is just I think that The Boys has a bigger audience, so I'm not sure if they would be too concerned of one-upping their own audience. You know what I'm saying? I think to be focused on attracting more of an audience, if that makes sense. Because I feel like the Boys is still kind of slept on, so I feel like they're not gonna like oh, we got to make sure our fans love this even more. I think we got to expand it so that we get a little bit bigger of an audience. But I still like what you said. That like still makes sense to me. So.
Yeah.
You got anything else, man?
Yeah.
Cool. So, all right, man. That was a good conversation. We had a lot of episodes and a lot of things to go through. And to be honest, this show is. I mean, we could go more. Like this show is so good. Like it's blew my socks off. Blew my socks off. So, yeah. Anything else? No.
No.
All right, man. We'll call it a day then, man. We had 2 hours of a good conversation.
Indeed.
All right, brother. Then we'll catch you next time. Guys, let us know what you guys think of Invincible. Let us know in the comments. And watch Invincible if you haven't, because it's incredibly good. Like, it's really, really good. Like,
yeah. And if you haven't watched Invincible, go watch Invincible and then come back here and tell us what you think about it.
Absolutely. All right. We'll catch you guys next time. Follow.